Okay, so here is part 2 of mod C. The other part that we were talking about before was the macros. Now we're talking about enhancing charts. So we've seen data before. It's nothing new for us. So in order to make a chart, remember we have to select the data including headings and titles. Okay, if I just select this and insert a chart, it's not going to give me anything other than series 1, 2, 3, and 4. It doesn't understand that I want it to be 2015, 2016, 17, and 18. It also doesn't know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Doesn't know that this first one is supposed to be Bruce Smith, Andre Reed, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas for number 4. It doesn't know that stuff because I didn't select any titles. So worst case scenario, you can click select data and say you made a mistake. Okay? So if we have to add these things, I would select all of this, to be honest with you. And when you grab that, it now says, I think these labels are supposed to be 15, 16, 17, 18, and these are the names. Okay, so that helps a lot. So again, that was, let me show you here. When you click on whatever chart you're at, you would do select data. You can always change it later and you actually get your labels. Okay, so a lot better than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for the people, and series 1, series 2, series 3, series 4. So that's definitely where you want to go to. While we're in here, I'm going to increase the size of this for a second here. Scroll down some. And we could make these things different, but what I'm going to do inside of here is, see how it says series 2018 point Jim Kelly? So this depends on what's happening with it. So on this purple one, it says series 2018 point Andre Reed. So these are different values. Okay, 2018, 2018, 2018 seems to be purple. Okay, so what you could do is you could actually format each individual piece. So format data series. I'm going to click on one data series, and you see how all of them are now selected? All the purples only, though, not the rest of the data. So if I right click on this, you can start changing things, adding labels, or format data series. Okay. Once you get that, you get these options on the side here. We've seen some of this stuff before, but some of this is a little bit of options that we didn't see. So I'm going to click on cylinder. We didn't use, I should say. Make a cylinder. Now they're cylindrical. You can make them partial pyramids, cones, whatever you choose at that point. Okay. So the fun thing about that, again, is you can choose whatever you want for those pieces. You can also change things for glows, soft effects, 3D images. Okay. As soon as this will scroll down for me. So you can have different types of images. You can make it look like it's squared off a little bit. You can see that. You can put bevels on it, make it look metallic or shiny. Okay. If there's a little glare on that piece. So this is where it really gets kind of fun, that you can play with these things. I'm recommending you guys basically go crazy on this stuff and have a lot of fun with it. Okay. You can also change the colors at this point. If you wanted it to be bright orange or something, you could change all of your colors for these things. Now this is a shadow I'm changing the color for. You're not going to see the shadow right now. I'm gonna do something else with the shadow, but that's the ideas behind these things. Your fills, your borders. Okay. Right now it's automatic. This color is that, so I want to change it to orange. Now it's orangey. Transparency. It was at 0, but now as I get more and more transparent, transparency means you can see through. There's nothing it's hiding, right? So you can kind of see through it. You can get a lot of fun with any of this type of stuff if you choose. Okay. Same thing with borders. You can put lines, no lines, solid fills. Okay. You can have an outline of blue if you want to. You can have outlines of yellow. Whatever you choose for these types of things. This enhancing charts piece is basically going to be you guys having a lot of fun with this stuff. Okay. So within the format data series, again, you can go and add chart elements from the chart tools design tab all the way over to chart layouts, add chart element. Click what you want from here. Or if you close this, when you're selected in here, you have this plus sign, right? Add chart elements from here. This is where you want to be able to do this stuff too. Okay. So if I click on this, I can add axes or not. Right now it's checked, so it's there. Axes titles means I have these names or not. chart title, right now that is there, data labels, or not. You could have callouts too. That's a little crazy this time. Oops, turn it off. A data table at the bottom, which gives more information at the bottom. Grid lines, whether they're on or off. Right now I have the primary major horizontal. I could have the major vertical ones too. It goes up and down. Okay. Legend. Right now I have a legend on because it tells me what's going on with it. Currently it's at the bottom. I can move it to the left. I can move it to the right, over here. Put it wherever you want as far as that goes, okay? And again, inside of this, I'm going to say something about salaries. Oh. There we go, salaries. Oh, yeah. There we go. So this, I want to format this particular piece. Inside here, chart elements. Whoops. This is formatting different colors, filtering things inside of here, only showing few people or not, right? I want to click on this and then go to here, and it says different elements that we have within this piece now. Okay, so from this, like I said, salaries, it's a chart title. That's great. Inside of here, I want to start editing this. Right click. Oops. If I can get to it here. Format chart title. This stuff comes back. Now this again is where you're going to have a lot of fun with all the different things you can do. I would recommend playing with different types of fills. I would definitely recommend the transparency thing. Shadows are really fun for this. So preset shadows, you have them in different spaces. It looks like it's coming outwards. So like this particular one right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So you can see it's like it's coming forward, right? So let me, if you guys can see that piece right there. So I'm going to put a little box on this thing, or a fill. Let's fill it with blue. Okay. So see there's a little outline on this piece now. Now there's also a shadow from it. So going back to that shadow piece, what you can do for these things is to move the distance away. Okay. So the farther away you move it, the farther away that shadow looks. And now it's hard to see on here, but it is going away. Okay. You could also change the angle that it's going on from 90 degrees. Oh, 230 degrees, a little bit too big there. You could blur it out more if you choose. Okay. You can make it more crisp depending on where the sunlight is, so to speak, or the light that you have on. You could make it 100% or more if you want to make the shadow bigger than the actual object. Transparency, again, you can change that. The glow, you could have a hue if you want a color for a hue. Okay. And again, this is all for here, right? I'm trying to make these things increase. Let's see. Make this thing purple background. Whoa, that's a little too much. Back to white. So you have all these different hues here for glows, for presets. Okay. I'm going to go no glow on that. Let's see. Soft edges. Oh yeah, the metallic stuff, the 3D formats and whatnot. This is really cool looking because you can really make these look phenomenal if you wanted to. It really depends on what you're looking at. Mostly when you're using these pieces, it's easier to make it look like it's a metallic piece on that than it is on here. But again, I really enjoy using the with the chart titles, all these formats and beveled edges and weights and everything else. It really makes it a lot of fun. So basically what I'm leaving up to you guys with a lot of this stuff is show me you know how to use it and have fun with it. Okay? So that would be the best thing at this point. Again, distances, moves away, farther, shorter. Okay. Distance of 13, you can see how far away that is at this point. The angle is 315 degrees. The blur is out. Okay, so you can make a lot of fun things with these things. Text options, same thing. You could format all these pieces inside of here. Right now the text box has different pieces. You want this to be, I don't know, red. You can make the salaries now read red. So this is really making a lot of fun with this, okay? All right, so let me zoom out a little bit on this one. Other things that we're doing here, if I click on this, you notice that this format axis is now here. So if you have format axis, when you go to this option here, the axis options, okay, you have axis options here, minimums and maximums. Right now the maximum is 3.0 times e to the sixth. That's scientific notation saying you got 6 decimal places that you have to move. So it's 3 million is the highest. If I wanted to change this to 3,500,000 is the top, that's fine. And you can actually change what your axes are as far as major units are concerned. You could make these things, I'm going to make it 250,000. Okay? So the major axis now shrunk. So now I have more lines going across. Instead of 500,000, I doubled what I'm going to have. And again, instead of this thing going up to 3 million to be at this point, I made it 3.5 million. Okay, so you could adjust those pieces inside of here. Display units, right now there are no units. But you could say in millions, in billions, trillions, whatever you want to do, in thousands. You could actually relabel these things if you want. Okay, tick marks, same thing. Major tick marks, there's none. Inside, outside. Now tick marks don't really do too much other than literally a little dash. So it's very, very hard to see those things. Again, labels you have next to the axis if you want one. The numbers, custom numbers if you choose. General numbers, number, currency, money, dates. So all the same things we had before. You're just changing these things inside of here. Okay. So again, inside of the axis, you could change what it is. This is currently currency because we're talking about money. All right. Other things I want to show you guys is remember, creating combo charts. If you want one to be more than another, for example, let's grab this, select data, and I'm going to include all the way to F. Whoops. Let me go to F9. Okay, that includes the salaries now. This makes it skewed. So I'm going to change the chart type. We've seen something like this before. I'm going to make a combo chart. And I want to make, that's still a column, a secondary axis for my line chart. Remember, the secondary axis is extremely important because without it, we're going up to 12 million, well, 10 million or so for these numbers, right? But the actual salaries are going up to 3 million. So otherwise it makes it look very, very skewed. You don't want to do that. So make sure you're careful with these things, okay? I'm going to pause this at this point, and I'll come back in just a minute with another part of the video to go through and do more with charts, pie charts, and spark lines, okay? I'll be back in just a moment.